G'day viewers, how are you? It's the end of the week. Friday! Time for Totally Fucked Up Fridays. And hey, I'm actually doing the video on a Friday. Will wonders never cease? It's cause Saturday morning I'm doing a live stream with Kevin Logan on his channel talking about the Australian federal election, and the less I talk about that the better. But I'm going to talk about it with Kev tomorrow, so you know, look out for that. But yeah, Friday night, looking at the end of the week, and my wordy, that's cocktail worthy. But what happened this week? I mean, all sorts of things. There's always far too many things to choose from. But I have to admit, a headline that caught my attention this week that really made me laugh was Natalie Portman denies ever dating Moby, which seems like a thing you'd want to do. There'd be a long line of people wanting to say, I definitely never dated Moby. And because it turns out Moby said he did date her, and he's about 20 years older. But he's talking about when she was only about 18, like just out of school. And he, when this came up, Natalie Portman said, no, I never dated him. No. He's going, yeah, we did. Look, here's a picture. Look how comfortable she looks next to me. And Natalie Portman goes, yeah, no, I never dated him. I remember him being really creepy because he was much older and I was barely out of school and his behaviour was all kinds of wrong, but no, never dated him. I was like, no, it was definitely dating. If I fixated on a really young woman, that's what dating is, isn't it? When someone who thinks everything's going to be handed to them hyper-focuses on something, that's dating. What is dating if not a creepy, much older guy fixating on a very young woman? That's dating. What else could dating possibly be? I mean, I forget who said it, but there was a very wise Twitter user who once upon a time said, every day on Twitter, somebody is the main attraction. The idea is, don't be that person, because being the center of attention on Twitter is never good. It's never like, look at this person who just cured cancer. It isn't that. You do not get a lot of attention on Twitter for good things. You get a lot of attention on Twitter for fucked things. And yes, for one day it was Moby, and he's completely, like, he could have defused the whole thing by going, oh, okay, I see now. You know, honestly, that was not good. What I did, my behaviour was not good. It wasn't malicious. I didn't intend to be malicious. I can see how from now she's raised it, from her perspective, definitely not good. So, yeah, that's something, maybe, God, how old is he now? 40s, 50s? That maybe he can finally fucking learn that shitty behaviour is shitty. But no, he chooses to actually double down and make a complete fucking dick of himself to the whole world. So, you know, Natalie Portman never dated me either, but she never feels compelled to tell the world that with the undertone of, ew, gross. So, yeah, Moby, sort your shit out, quite honestly. Hey, speaking about creepy guys who should sort their shit out. You know how hard it is to say should sort a couple of cocktails in? It's difficult. But I'm thinking Julian Assange. Creepy guy who should sort his shit out, because now it turns out that US enforcement agencies, they want to charge him with so many things. Apparently with breaches of the Espionage Act, which apparently no one's been charged with in ages. He could potentially have up to 170 years sentence. Wow, I wonder if he thinks he now fucking misjudged things when he backed Trump so heavily. I mean, there is no question that Clinton had also spoken out and said, Julian Assange is an enemy of America. But the Republicans had always been much more vocal and much more extreme in their denunciation of WikiLeaks and Assange. But Assange, for whatever fucking reason, maybe because he's a hideous misogynist fuckbag, decided to actively support the Trump campaign and attack the Clinton campaign. Doesn't seem like that's worked out for him very well at all. Now, a lot of people pointed out that no matter which way you look at it, if the US sets a precedent with being able to prosecute Assange for releasing the information WikiLeaks released, that's bad for journalists and truth-telling generally. I'm one of those people who doesn't think Assange is a journalist. I think he's someone who started off with a positive idea and then his ego took over and he became a self-serving fucking cockhead a long time ago. But that doesn't invalidate the point that this is the whole chilling effect thing. Really aggressively prosecute Assange for releasing secrets. And there's this whole thing where journalists might go, I don't know that I ever want to report something that's embarrassing to the government that a secret source has given me because they seem a bit fucking heavy about it. And that's what it's all about. And this is governments everywhere of every persuasion. Don't fool yourself no matter who you favour and no matter what country you're in. Among the worst things for your own freedom you can do is embarrass your government. Release information they don't want released that makes them look bad, and they will fuck you up. And it's everywhere. Certainly the Australian government, all Australian political parties have been very clear in how much they want to prosecute people who release stuff the government doesn't want released. And in case any Democratic supporters in America are feeling smug that the Republicans and Trump regime is coming down so hard on Assange, I mean, the fucking Barack Obama's administration was completely fucking evil to whistleblowers and anyone releasing information they don't. It's just a thing. Like, this is not an exaggeration. This is not hyperbole. This is not tinfoil hat paranoia. If you release secrets your government doesn't want released, if you embarrass them, if you make them look bad, you will be pursued harder than a fucking murderer. There's case after case after case in country after country that shows, as far as governments are concerned, about the worst thing you as a citizen can do is embarrass the government. And we've seen the records. I mean, the only one who seemed to truly understand this was Edward Snowden. You look at the high-profile cases, Chelsea Manning and Julian Assange, and Edward Snowden, Manning seemed incredibly naive. Assange just seemed really arrogant. Snowden had looked at what the government was doing and saying, okay, I now know some fucking hardcore shit. I think the public needs to know this, but I also know my life is over. I need to get the fuck out of Dodge before I release this. You cannot embarrass governments without them coming down on you. And I think old Jules is fair shitting himself in a prison cell at the moment about exactly how fucked his future is. So, yeah, you backed the wrong fucking horse there, Jules. But I also don't think there was a right horse for you to back. I think you were just fucked. You need to take a leaf out of Edward Snowden's book. If you are going to release damaging information, you have to just get the fuck out of the reach of those people and realise you are giving up your life for what you perceive to be the greater good. That is just how fucking nasty governments are. And hey, speaking of nasty governments, Theresa May's gonna resign because she can't fucking sort Brexit out. Oh my God, I'm so glad that all the major English-speaking countries have fucked politics. It's not just Australia. I mean, with a fucking election result, and Trump in the US, and Brexit is just a shit show. And now you're getting Prime Minister Boris Johnson. I'm calling it now, England. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, you fucking deserve it. Maybe not, because it's horrible. Or Prime Minister Rees-Mogg. He's even fucking worse. Now I'm laying money now. You are getting Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Holy fuck! I'm just imagining get Donald Trump, Boris Johnson, and Scott Morrison in a room. That is a fuckwit singularity. That would be the single greatest concentration of fuckwits in one room known in the history of the universe. There'll be an implosion. There will be a fuckwit black hole. And that'll be the end of humanity. And honestly, we deserve it, quite frankly. The whole Brexit shit. I mean, I was going to throw in with the whole milkshake thing and absolute fucking scumfucks who have completely and consistently excused the violence of right-wing thugs up to and including murder, being so upset about being milkshake. It was hilarious. Culminated in the story midweek of Nigel Farage being too scared to get off his bus because it was surrounded by people with milkshakes. And I predicted this. You don't even have to throw a milkshake. You just have to be near one of these fuckwits with a milkshake, and they are going to freak out. And it's absolutely beautiful. And there's even a picture of some sad old man like, oh, I've got my Brexit party ribbon on, and someone threw a milkshake on me. It's like, well, okay, that would be a shitty thing to do. And this is the thing. I have spoken out that I think it's only these real proponents of fuckery, of them, whether it's the misogynists, the racists, the bigots, the people promoting hate and division, like Stephen Yaxley Lennon, like Farage, like fuckhead of Arcade. They're fucking scum. And the idea of people saying to you, you wouldn't like it if someone did it to you? No! And I also have not promoted bigotry, racism, misogyny, and rape culture. I haven't been a fucking piece of shit. For, again, all these fucking cockhead right-wingers on the internet who go like, hey, I want to debate you. Oh, you're using a logical fallacy. That's a straw man. They go straight for false equivalence. It's like, you know who's as bad as murderers? People who want to stop murderers. That's exactly as bad. Advocating against murder, trying to stop murders, aggressively trying to stop murderers, that's as bad as being a murderer yourself. These people are such fuckwits. And you have this sad old man posing with someone threw a milkshake on me. Well, first, as Internet Sleuth pointed out, that didn't look like the pattern you'd get if someone you threw a milkshake at you. And even more so, it looks more like he's just tipped a tub of yogurt. It's not even a milkshake, it's yogurt. And it was even further undermined that where the guy posed for so many pictures is outside a shop, the person who owned the shop went, oh yeah, that's my shop. I checked the CCTV. Him and his mate poured that on himself and then posted. The whole thing's a fucking lie. Who knew? Who knew the Brexit crowd were fucking liars? So anyway, the revolution will be pasteurised. Boris Johnson will be Prime Minister. Julian Assange is fucked. Moby's a dickhead, and that's the world this week. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss my next video, because I do a lot of them. Jump in with a comment on this video, or let me know what you'd like me to do in another video, and hit me up on the various social media as well. Your support means a lot. So if you tell other people about the videos, that is one of the most positive things you can do to support me. Just share the video with your friends, put it on your social media, and tell them they should subscribe and join in. Or remember this easy song. Subscribe to AngryAussie and share this with your friends.